Good morning, Greg here, burning both ends, burning on the front end of Wednesday. It is 6:03 a.m. Pacific, July 11th. Let me get in the center here, 2018. So lighten up the morning here. Just so excited about Semicon West yesterday. So, I'm in week 6 of 8 of this I-Core program. This is this tech transfer entrepreneurial training where we're learning about lean startup, we're learning about customer discovery interviews, we're learning about ecosystems, business model canvas. Really intense training. And so I was at Semicon West yesterday. I was going to go today. I'm not going today just because yesterday I hit everything I needed to hit. And a lot of the speakers today are just topics I'm not super interested in. So last year it was all about autonomous driving. This year it's all about AI. And so there's just a lot of AI that, not that it's not exciting, it's just not directly, relevant to what I'm working on right now with I-Core. And the whole point of this is I-Core. And so I did, I hit the whole floor, actually both floors yesterday. I pretty much saw everyone I needed to see, and I even found some extra folks that I saw. And extra folks, in other words, like I met people I didn't expect to meet. That's what that means. And so I don't have a need. There is one person that I want to reach out to today. I'll try to hit him on LinkedIn, and I can also email him. If he wants to get together face to face, I'll jump into SF to do that. If not, then we'll just meet on the phone some other time. I have a feeling that he's probably not there today, but maybe he is. So anyway, really good. I got to do a tally of all the interviews that I got yesterday. And but it was a very successful day, and I got a bunch of people to follow up with, even though they're still at the conference. So I'm probably not going to hear from them until probably Friday, maybe even Monday. And the goal is to squeeze them in before we hit Denver. And I think it would even be cool to have some interviews, right? On the not on the ground in Denver, but when we're on the ground in Denver, over the phone with some folks, just before we kind of wrap up. Because the way I see it is, let's see, next week, 24, 25, 26, that's not next week, the week after. That's the days that we're in Denver for the, kind of the graduation or the wrap up of this course. And the way I see it is, if we're still doing interviews those days, that's totally fine. But the way I see it is kind of, I want to have this 75 in the books before we get on a plane Monday morning. But we'll see how this goes. I can't control the timing of other people, right? That's the thing. So, but we will get there. I'm very confident in that. And then something else I've noticed, and this is something that I need to work on. So, I'm real big on these systems and processes, but I find that when I get into the work, sometimes I can get so focused on the work that I kind of forget about my systems and processes that got me there, and I get a little sloppy with them. And that's what I've noticed right now. So I'm getting a little sloppy with the Success Journal. I'm getting a little sloppy with Innovation Within, which is the I-Core platform, the cloud platform that we upload all of our interviews to. And it's not like I'm being lazy. I'm definitely doing lots of work, lots of really important work. A lot of that kind of Innovation Within work is real tasky work. And while it's important, unfortunately, and this is the way my mind works, is I lower the priority of that work because it's tasky and because it's like bookkeeping work, right? And actually that's a very good analogy. It's a lot like when you're running a business and bookkeeping. It's like, should I spend 3 hours now typing in all these receipts where I've already spent that money? I've already done those things, but it's important work because then come tax time, it still needs to be done, right? And that's kind of how I see the Innovation Within. So today we have our 2-hour webinar for I-Core. This morning is all about prep for that webinar. We have I have to give a 5-minute presentation on our cost structure or our revenue structure, and I think we're in good shape for that, by the way. But I still want to put some good time into the presentation, make sure the slides look nice, make sure I practice, so that way I'm nice and polished. But then after the webinar, I'm going to spend the whole afternoon kind of cleaning up some of this work, as far as getting our interviews into Innovation Within, typing up all the notes, doing a lot of that thing. I do find it is a very time-consuming thing, but at the same time very important. So, and this is something that I'm working on, as far as this kind of getting so focused on the work that I forget to do kind of the foundational kind of documenting piece of it. and also with my success journal. Now, I did go through it yesterday pretty well. I want to go through it in very good detail today. I haven't done that in definitely all week. I haven't done actually since probably for a whole week, I'd say. I haven't gone through everything in great detail, even though I look at it right now and I see a lot of things, right? And this is also, I think, the great benefit of the success journal is it keeps these success steps in front of me, and some of them, like for example, the nonprofit widget. I've executed a bunch of important things, success steps for that project that now I really don't have much to do between now and like the end of the month. Right, I executed the agreement. I reached out to Peter. He's down with the training, so we just got to set it up now. So that's definitely like a task I can do, but there's no reason I have to do it today, or even this week, or even next week. As long as my goal is to set something up by the end of the month, so that way when I come back from South Carolina, was it August 3rd, then I have training lined up the following week with Peter, and it's a weekly thing or a bi-weekly thing. And so things like that. So it's there. I don't have to hit it today. I don't have to hit it this week. And this is what really actually helps me. And I think that my brain kind of, this is one of my strengths, is that I'm really good at kind of doing this in the background in my head, so I don't have to write it down. And that I got to get out of that habit. Out of the habit of not writing it down. Right, because it's great that my brain processes it and realizes, okay, setting up training with Peter is not a high priority right now. You got 2 weeks, maybe. I'll probably send out emails when I'm in Denver to him just to set it up, because it probably takes about 2 weeks just to have the email back and forth and converge on a schedule. But right now it's not a hot topic. I've executed the agreement, which was a huge success step. And I am slowly reaching out to nonprofits to talk to them. As a matter of fact, I just answered someone this morning, and so we're going to get together next week. I'm going to go to his place of work, and this is our second conversation. And one of the cool last things that he said was that he really needs help, solving this kind of donation thing. And so I think the thing that we have to offer is a really powerful tool. I don't think it's just like a panacea. I think it's one step in the right direction. I do have some other things I think I can show him that are not really associated with the nonprofit widget. For example, I think in what he's doing, I think the Gary V, like daily content, kind of document what you're doing content, is really appropriate for him, because that's exactly where he's at. I could totally see him having a Gary V style kind of content platform. A lot of work to do that, but at the same time, for what he's doing, the space he's in, the kind of things he's doing, I think it's really appropriate. And I think that along with the widget really kind of, because you have to, the point of the widget is it makes it easier for someone to donate money, right? The actual form to click through is super simple. It's almost analogous to Amazon's one-click ordering. It's just like it's so easy to do, and when you compare it to what he has right now, and I've seen some other folks, kind of donation pages. It's just night and day, and so that's one thing. And so, but then you got to get people to the forum, right? That's the other side of the equation that this nonprofit widget does not help with. And that comes down to marketing, right? That comes down to sales and marketing and content and platforms and, especially social media, right? There's no doubt. So anyway, so what I was getting at is I've noticed that I get a little sloppy and I got to clean it up. And so that is my goal for today, is to clean that up, because we have one interview today, and then this afternoon, and then after that I can really focus some good time on cleaning up my sloppy work in Innovation Within. I'd love to do it before today's webinar. I'll try to squeeze some time in. I'm not sure if I'll be able to, but just because at the same time I want to focus on the presentation. Like, I think it's more important to put time in the presentation in prep for the webinar than it is to spend time uploading notes to Innovation In for the webinar, because at the actual webinar we're not actually using those notes. And the thing that we are doing that's good though, is we are, as a team, we're having these State of the Union conversations about once a week, which I think is important because we start to hit the high level points. And I think we need to document that, right? Because we have all these interviews, and let's just fast forward. All the interviews are documented individually in Innovation Within, but then we need something kind of like a high-level document that kind of touches them all and reaches down and hits the important points. Because there's a lot of stuff in those interviews that's somewhat useless, but there's a lot of really good stuff. And then, and I think that's what the Innovation Within platform is supposed to try to do. And I'm not really seeing how it does that clearly, but at the same time, that's not for me to judge. Let me just use the platform the way it's designed. And so that'll be this afternoon's task, and then this evening's task. And then my wife flies out tomorrow. She's on a trip for 5 days, so that's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be alone with the girls for 5 days. Not a real big deal. It's more of a big deal for them because they're gonna miss mommy. And that really shouldn't have an effect on work. And that's sort of how that's why I've designed Burn at Both Ends to be the way it is that a lot of this really extra work happens outside of family time, right? Like right now, the whole family's asleep. Tonight when I hit, get back into Burn at Both Ends, it's going to be, 9:30. Now my wife's not usually asleep by then, but, the kids are certainly asleep by then. Wife goes to bed about 10 o'clock. And so, and that's where I've been in the evenings recently, is I'm starting more closer to 10. So it'd be nice to start at 9, but I also want to spend some time with her. And I find that we're just putting the girls to bed later. And so then I, get to sleep till about 9 o'clock, and then I got to do some dishes or clean up after dinner, 9:30. Then spend some time with her, and then I'm hitting, the Burn at Both Ends, probably closer to 10-ish. So, but this is just life, right? I mean, this is life with the family, right? This is being of service. We need to have a clean kitchen. That's actually a big deal for I say for me and for my wife, just walking into a kitchen and having a clean kitchen. It's interesting how, it kind of makes sense, but just important because I love to cook, and so if I want to come home from work and I want to cook dinner, the last thing I want to do is spend 20 minutes cleaning up first and then cook dinner, right? So a lot of interesting details in this post, but this is the self-awareness piece, and it's important I do this, and it's really good for me to say it out loud like I am right now, because now it's kind of echoes in my head, and it's going to help me get into action around it, which I think is important. So so this channel is all about my journey as an aspiring entrepreneur, journey as a husband, as a father, as an engineer, as a drummer. I won't say as a chef, but as someone that loves cooking food. If you like what you hear, subscribe, help me out. That'd be great, and I would love to help you out. So comment down below, ask me questions, give me some feedback. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. I want to be of service. That's a big thing I'm trying to do right now, and that's it. So in the description down below, you'll find some links to some motivational sites that really inspired me this year. This is like a year I'm really severely elevating my game, and I'm glad that I'm really sticking with it. And this Burn at Both Ends double posting is really helping me. It's really adding that structure. It's making me really think about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and then where I'm falling off, like today's post about just being a little sloppy. So I want to clean that up so I can get back into integrity and just light it up. So let's see what else is down there. There's some great music down there. There's Ents down there. That's voice-based social media platform. And then you will also find a link to the beat in the background. So this is the beat that I wrote. G Money's my alter ego. Been drumming for a few decades. It's a beat inspired by Fela Kuti and Tony Allen, like the father of Afrobeat, and probably Tony Allen's the father of Afrobeat drumming. There's no doubt about it. And so that's where we're at. So y'all go out, have a great day, inspire folks, light it up, do great things, and I will see you tonight.